So the first one that I wanted to bring up and is the Las Vegas Raiders. All right. So they did some moves, some really out of the box moves. And first I want to get your thoughts on it, on the Las Vegas Raiders. They they really made some interesting, surprising moves, especially when it came to their O linemen.
Hmm.
And I just want to hear your thoughts on it.
I saw some moves that they got some good deals on, right? With bringing in Ngakwe and bringing in Kenyon Drake. But then there's some head scratchers, man. Like, how are you going to protect Derek Carr with just letting so many of your O linemen go? I mean, Rodney Hudson is one of the best centers, right? Brown really never materialized in Las Vegas. I think he had a better time in New England, but just letting a slew of your meat up front, the trenches, the guys that do the dirty work, uh, letting that go was, dude, that's puzzling. So maybe they're going to build in a draft because they're going to have to. Um, but puzzled, puzzled.
Y- Yeah, I agree with you. Bringing in Yannick was definitely a great move. It was definitely a great move. And honestly, with the age that Trent Brown is at, and just it kind of made sense. And it was time for him to go, to be honest with you. But for them to just up and go and get rid of Hudson, and then get rid of Gabe Jackson on top of that. That was just super surprising because it's like, okay, well, what's your next plans? What's your plans now? I mean, granted, the line, I can't even sit here and say that the line needed a whole revamp. But there was certain places that needed some moves, but I don't think those two were the ones that needed it the most.
Right.
Um, but like I said, I think Trent Brown, it was due, should I say? And with Yannick coming in, that's going to be with Yannick coming in on the DN or on the DN set. I think that'll be interesting. But for the O line, it didn't make sense for them
Yeah,
to get rid of
and
those two.
Carr wasn't getting the protection he needed anyways. But to blow it up like you did and then not really make any additions to the O line, it's what puzzled me a lot.
Mhm.
And he's really going to be hung out to dry out there. They also need some weapons to replace. I mean, they kind of did with Aguilar. I think they signed John Brown.
Yep.
So they did add a speedster on the outside to try to replicate what he did, but it's just it's puzzling. It's weird. I think the Las Vegas Raiders regressed a bit, and they had some games last year that they were in the thick of things in some games, and they gave the Kansas City Chiefs some fits in both games. And I thought they were going to compete a little bit more. I thought that they were going to build on that and be like, "Hey, Kansas City, this division isn't yours yet. We show that we can keep up with you, and we're gonna have some shootouts." But it doesn't look that way. It looks like they blew up the O line. They want to start it from scratch again and have, I think they had they signed an extension for their future center, who's going to be their center now. So they're going to rebuild that. I guess for Derek Carr because Jesus, he needs it.
And you know what? I think it's not just for Derek Carr. I think with the pickup of Kenyon Drake, and then you also have Josh Jacobs. I really enjoy watching Josh Jacobs run. He is so explosive when he hits that line,
Right.
so explosive, and he's elusive. And I've really enjoyed watching Josh Jacobs play. And I think that's the other reason I think that they did what they did with getting rid of those two. They want to incorporate more of a run. They have a really great running back again, like Josh Jacobs, and then you got a veteran like Kenyon Drake on top of that to come in and play too. So I mean, I think in a way it kind of makes sense. You want to build it from the inside out. You want to build up that line first. But again, I just think it was just super surprising for them to just up and do that when again they were competing with the likes of KC,
Right.
you know, and you know, a lot of people are going to say that it is divisional. It's a division, you know, game, and division games, no matter what team it is, tend to be pretty difficult because it's again, it's your division. You know, you tend to go all out on your division. Um, but at the end of the day, you know, it was just super surprising to see the Raiders go and do that. But I really like some of the pickups that they did. And Kenyon Drake was one of them. He when he had his stint in Miami, I actually liked the way that he played even in Miami. He was very again, he was another elusive back, and it was just poor coaching, and it was just poor coaching in Miami at that point when he was there, and um, they just weren't utilizing him that much because they didn't have they were still in the rebuild process, you know. So I really like the pickup of Kenyon Drake for sure. Um, and
I think he has still a lot to offer. Last year wasn't a good season for Kenyon Drake in
yeah,
Arizona, but he's shown flashes even the year before, after the trade. So Kenyon Drake is good change of pace back. Should be good on third downs. So the two-headed monster over there with them too is it's going to be fun to watch. So I do like the additions. Some of the additions I like, but it's just the subtractions and what they said decided to do was puzzling.